So maybe you're a little bit like me and you are working in a job that you are not like really passionate about. Maybe you're working a job that you kind of enjoy, that you are not really dreading going to every day, but you're really not seeing any deeper meaning in what you are doing. I think many people are in this situation. If you are a little bit more educated, you are in the position where you have already put a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of thought into what you are doing. And maybe you have studied, and after many years of pursuing a certain job, you are now finding that really it isn't really like what you imagined it to be. You're not as happy doing your chosen career. You're not as happy in your chosen career as you hoped you would be. Maybe your job is not as creative as you imagined. And so the problem with having a really long education, like going to school for 12, 13 years, and then on top of that studying for 5 or more years, is really like it puts you in the situation where you're not really likely to quit your career and pursue something just that makes you more happy, and you just don't just quit and put all of that aside and forget that you have put so much effort into your current career. And this really is a situation I've been thinking about quite some time, because we are having the feeling that when we quit such a job, we are kind of losing out on all of that we have already invested in it. And to some degree, that's true. And many people won't feel very good, and especially won't be understood by others if they choose to do so, to quit their career that they have been studying for a long time. And here, I think, is what can help you in that situation. Because it's really, we are so conceptual as human beings that we need some kind of deeper meaning in our work. And when you find right now that you are missing this deeper meaning, you first have to realize that it's all created. All meaning is created. It's self-created by us, by our minds. It's not something that you can pick up from the outside world and that you will find out there. And so when you are right now, not feeling meaning in your work, it's really because you have not been working on creating that meaning for yourself, for your work. And that gives you a lot of hope, because you can actually, if you understand how it works, you can create meaning around your current work and make it a lot more enjoyable, make the parts where you're suffering a lot less dreadful. And so you will improve your overall working situation a lot by just changing your mental attitude towards your work and creating a deep meaning from inside. And really, if you think about how you find anything meaningful in your life, you can learn a little bit about how to create that meaning around your work. For example, maybe you find something that you do in your free time very meaningful, and think about how you actually came to that meaning around that activity. It wasn't just there from the start. Somehow you got involved in that topic, in that activity over time. So ask yourself, what have you been doing around that activity that you actually find meaningful? And usually it has been an unconscious process. Maybe if you enjoy a particular sport, why do you enjoy that sport? Why is that sport meaningful to you? It usually is only because your mind has unconsciously created meaning around that activity. Maybe because you have enjoying it with your friends and social interaction is important for us. And so this has been because you have been engaged with that activity, that your mind has built up all of these kinds of relationships around that activity, and your interpretations when you think about that have been created by what you have been experiencing. From those insights, you can also conclude what you have to do in order to find deeper meaning in your work. you have to become more engaged in it. It's actually not intuitive, because when you are not engaged, when you're not feeling meaning in your work, what usually happens is you are only doing the minimal amount that's required of you. You only go there physically, but not really mentally. You're not really engaging with your work. And so if you find that is lacking in your attitude towards work, you have to somehow create meaning by engaging more with the people in your work and feeling emotions while you're working. Really feel like you are personally responsible for what you are doing. If you're in a bigger corporation, you might just never feel that have personal responsibility, but you have to really feel that what you are doing is like your personal mission, that you are working on it, that you are the person who is really creating how what you are doing is expressing itself. Like it's expressing itself through you. You're not just some random person that's doing the work and has no influence on it. You have to feel like or see how the whole process of what you create is really coming alive through you, and so you feel really like you are a part of that process. And this meaning you can create in many different ways, because if you see the whole mental space that we create around something, the activity of working can get its meaning from many different angles. For example, we can also in our today's society feel a lot of meaning in activities because of the monetary aspect of it. It's not entirely unimportant. If we work for money, money can also fulfill a certain purpose. You can, for example, work towards certain goals. If you are saving money, for example, you can work in a job very comfortably for a few years because you know that this money that you can save from that job maybe gives you the opportunity to invest in something, invest in your future, invest in a different kind of opportunity for yourself to, in the future, be able to work on your dream, to work on yourself, to work on your own business, to give meaning to your current job by the monetary aspect, because it really gives you some opportunities in the future that you are not currently seeing, especially if you are saving a lot of money, because then you are really not fully enjoying actually what your current job could offer you. For example, if you spend only half of what you earn, you could say right now your job would offer you a lot more entertainment or whatever you want to buy for that money, but you are not doing that. So you are transferring that into the future. And to keep that in mind is really important, because then you are not only working for what you have right now, but you know that you're working for something in the future that will maybe even be your freedom from your current job. That can give a lot of meaning. And for most people, sadly, that's only when they're 65 or so that they know they can stop working the job that they hate maybe. But that doesn't have to be the case. Maybe even a lower amount is enough for you to start your own business, to work actually on your dream. This might help.